Hey there, mateys. This is Discovery Scouts, a Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. Today is November 28th, 2016 on Monday. And this is good morning time, almost the afternoon on 12 o'clock afternoon to 11. So, we're gonna do Q&A today. Tomorrow we have it about Movie Madness. It's Tuesday. So today's Monday is Q&A. So I have a special for you guys. I have a really special for you guys. Some Chicago Bears was over about yesterday, and when the Chicago Cubs was changing over to about Chicago Gotham on a baseball game, they're not sure. They're not sure have to win this game. You have every year, and some do will have it the first time. We have something for you guys. I have it so missionated and notice about the specials. It needs to be the fans on Chicago Bears and Cubs, and I'm gonna get it upstairs in my move. I'll be right back, mateys. Ta-da! Go Bears! Um, I just like that about the Bears today. I just bought it from South Hill Mall for the last month. For this year, I have the first time I've seen about Chicago Bears win this game, and one of the three times at each, the 3 wins, they have the 6 losses. The definitions they have some things about CBS and TV's Fox be coming out enrollment on December 2nd, 2016, and during this Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and January 1st, 2017. Happy New Year's. And Beauty and the Beast coming out. They're about TV spots, B-rolls, clips, and full movies, and gag rags, bloopers, and behind the scenes. And the next upcoming 2017 movie is Guardians of the Galaxy 2nd. And we're gonna working hardest about Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Van Diesel, and Bradley Cooper, and Michael Rooker is still coming with Romans and about felt like the things about it's pretty positions. I have noticed it about 10 feet away. You know, some gather you believe me. If I could about very special few moments. If I don't forget it at Fairy Bearings, all I have to do is vary the moments. If I don't forget, I have no idea what you're saying, and they have a much good deal with them. In being noticed about very much last thing, and for once you we have before, and some of them that we have are interesting, so it don't have to do this. We have the moments. If we never forget, you know it's something. So sometimes we have to know about 10 feet away for me. Some kind of orders for you. If they have to watch those about TV spots and new trailers, clips, and behind the scenes, the gag bags, the bloopers, and B-rolls today. Just as about last year. And the next one will be the second one is the Baywatch, and the Paramount Pictures is mostly have the Ballers and Penny Gaines, the rock stars as noticed about WWE champions and San Andreas and Fast and the Furious 8 and Hercules, Central Intelligence, and G.I. Joe Retaliation for the last 3 years is Mitch Budgehin, The Rock, and he knows that about San Andreas, about Raymond Gaines. That's for last year. He was just communicated for the Los Angeles, California, at Comic Con, WannaCon, and included the Savannah, Miami, and a trip to the Florida to the airport. They're sure to have the best friends about the C.J. Parker is played by the Kelly Woolbach, and she was hot. She was about very sexist, and they noticed about very reactive about fair creatures. They created about definitely the three girls, including three guys, are racing straight to the beach, and they knows about the hot pictures on the Baywatch. I have a look up for the posters on it the Thanksgiving Day, and John Bass puts the turkey on his back, and sure you do to have the most to have and most to do to have some stuffing, mashed potatoes, casseroles, and to make those in about corn in the cob, cornbread, dinner rolls, and make it hungry. Make some beverages and whatever the stuff would feel like, and sometimes we make it, and the main character is Elvis Hetera is about Stephanie Holden, and she went to the Instagram joining in to about her best friend for Alex, and she does matter. She work out with about Instagrams on these videos. They know that about 30 seconds left. Bearings that half of the first of things that important if it knows that half of the must be there at about 10 through to 3, and they have to show you guys that are working there for about the movies, clips, and trailers, TV spots, and the Blu-rays coming out, this Blu-rays and DVDs, this next year. They have been making about B-rolls, behind the scenes, gag rags, and bloopers, and sometimes the sometimes it's sending into the Rolling Stones. They've forgotten something about movie theaters about 10 to 15 minutes away. They haven't much issues. They have a few months away. They have none of it very interesting about you guys, for a long time. It's just feel free, and she knows about it. Elfinish, she knows about her best friend Stephanie, and temporary John the Sack and Dwayne. As a special guest star is the Allison Anna Daddario is Summer Quinn, played by for the last year for 2015. The best ways in 2016, and from 2015, 2014, and 2013, a long time ago, is about this is from The Bake to Brooklyn, The Choice, Workaholics, and American Story Hotel, the 5th, 6th season, and a 1 through 3rd, and Variant the X, but San Andreas, Percy Jackson, CF Monster, True Detective, 1 through 4, in episode, first season episodes, and from Once Again, and Emmy's Party 2014. She looks hot. She looks cute. She looks very cutest on this world forever, and she looks great. She looks getting dressed up. She looks beautiful. She looks great, and it looks like it about very emotional befriend. The couple of times I've seen the Dean Collins on Dean Strikes Back, and they have her dog Levon. They have it after the ending alternative, and he tells it about the dog bite his face and the nausea with his canine. Boom. Boom. Now Zac Efron, for High School Musical, first to third movies the series, and Charlie St. Cloud, and Charlie Day, and sure this is Neighbors and Neighbors 2 Swords Rising. Justice Nate and Seth Rogen and Ross Bryant and Eggy Barnanos. And those are the half of the best ever about the college storms. They have the ETA Justice Today. They have the sharing those claps. When the boys take over for the girls girls in the dorm, and they have the showing of about 2 years past. When the first movie as knows about Teddy Sanders, they have the most party ever. I think they have wanted to take in the spouse to do something, Some sarcastic, dramatic, nomadic people just have some weightage about it anytime, except differently for anyone's, and they have the most getting mad at each other. That he says, they tried to make it his friends. that they were stupid. They have definitely he was cheating on them. They definitely they haven't about try to do something about ignoring them, trying to going back away, about going back his party just as continue. You know, and some guys is about a very productive agitator. You know, and sometimes it means to in the half of the people in shoes. Some of the neighbors outside allow the watching those people and watching those frat peoples in the party, and just like grown-ups too, and they have the most. Eventually, this party ever I did started, it should and sort of if you was gonna remind me, some yesterday, if it means to, it don't have to do this before, it don't have to cheated on his girlfriend before, and Dave Franco is the brother of James, and he was a been there graduated for 2015 just to mention, you know when the girls just welcomed there for the Chloe Grace Moretz, just served the three girls there, and the uh, and the lady that heard the vice president for the college dorms from the high schools and junior highs, Selena Gomez from Wizard of Waverly Place. She was been welcomed to reunited for Alex versus Alex Russo from 2013, and she knows about the fair specials, and she knows about very welcome there for once in a while, and they does they didn't like it for the slow parties, and they didn't like it smoke. It is just so stupidity, and she knows about why they're here. Some surprise to see them how is the what going. Some really good, and some how is it going after. Some of those are the very moments. If you don't forget, if it's sometimes we ever forget, and they look good. They look good to get. They'll look to go. So on John Bass, just the last one. I love that. I love that John Bass River moment just working up with Alex, with Kelly, with the best friends, Alphonse, Zach, and Dwayne, and they knows it about the last 3 months. And she remembered that for about February through May 2016. They reunited to anyway for going back home for the California for Los Angeles, from Miami, Florida to the airport to work on the 3 months on the Baywatch 2017 on Paramount Pictures, and make up those about 1 hour and 56 minutes. Should definitely have a work there about the once of the girl for once and a half of the last 28 years. And she was gonna see once and again, and those who have the just as long stories, or I have told them about and a long time. Those that happened when it seems. And she was young, and she was definitely they were the kids. Me and my brother, we were kids. So I haven't felt like everything about those about long time ago. Those who seen the movie theaters. I haven't seen it as a kid. I was slept there a lot. That about felt like it. It felt like about very boring. And that's what would be a desolation about the next year from 2017. So and saying good to questions and for about movies, just announcement. So just like that. All right, Bears. Go Bears. Take over from Seahawks. So I got sellers on my shirt. So I got sellers on my Seahawks jersey and fans on, and so and some manners too. So I have of those are about the new fan is the Cubs today. I have a what is gonna happen today. So I'm gonna show you guys to see where after that the game's over. About football game is the Bears starts at about next year. We will see about the Bears. Ta-da! Go Cubs! Baseball games. Go Cubs! Woohoo! Kind of love that. Kind of left that show. Just like Alessandra. Just like Alessandra just took the pictures on her Instagrams, the selfies. And the news just wants all of those that are against us. And they haven't wanted to see what happens there. It's sometimes it looks it seems. I look like it about Alex and her sister Matthew, and they look just like me. I just mentioned that in the first time. So I haven't much seen some notes about it. Very like it, very much fully, and he has the berries about the verifying, and those who had to see much of a lot of them, they're glad you still hear their crap, and they have no idea just how to say anything. We have some castics. It's a very fantastic, guys. Some ladies do. I have those about those guys wearing the Chicago Cubs hat, and those who have the Bears hat, go Bears and go Cubs. The baseball, the football. That's the newest one. The first time I ever seen about. Just paid a lot for about sports shop, and it's on the South Hill Mall. It's already crossing there for the Walmart, for the Rams, and Home Depot, crossing the street, and go there to for the mall first to through to the food court, and to see the left end of the buckle, PacSun, and lady the men's locker room, and just like that. And so I like that. So I like the bear. So I like the Bears and Cubs, and so sort of like it about some things about the minutes. Well, she knows about the Chargers things. Some of them who love San Francisco 49ers. So some Giants do. You know what? I have to go out for the walk today in about 6 minutes today. So I have a definitely the wife's gonna see what's is going now. She knows that they knows you why she knows why you get to hear about it. She knows why you get to working hard, take it easy, and be nice to each other, respectful, and behaving with your friends and cousins and girlfriends, and you loves each other. Um, I have a definitely with what's gonna choose, and same as like it about men's health, and runners, and women's and men's today, and just like that. It knows the real reality, right? I know. I have no idea. Just to have to say everything, to some castics. What we're gonna do is you notice about the Q&A just as a long time. And I know that sometimes you feel things, you feel bad about it, not the positions. This is my new orientation about Q&A, answer Q&A for the first time. Vlogs, announcements, speech and reviews, and pirate series, reacts, and prank, and the movie madness. And the next things will be the pirate power canon, and will be about the Wednesday, just as now. If you pewter today, it's notes about cannoning balls. This is the battling instead about fire. And they're not really sure this doesn't matter what happens there. Some cast it when it means to. If you're really gonna mean to, and that has to be sometimes you need to do something. Some below it. Noticing. She was asking you guys the question about the below and everything really happened about taking the time, taking the definitely, some very fantastic today, and sometimes I have a very reaction just as today for right now. That definitely we have some statisticians just as today, just as below it. So I'm really glad you're there about you should join in. You should join in just a lot. Kind of like felt things. So I have it very definitely the ones gonna choose ones. The asking to do we have some chosen ones. It felt like everything we have some of the very fantastic And this is gonna really have you fun about the Chicago ones as it about the Bears and Cubs today, as it knows about all the wins and not to lose. Boom. Kind of like that today, mateys. My gentlemen have to learn to win this game, and we have the challenges. We have the challenges. All of them, those are about free for all for the Seahawks and Mariners and Giants and 49ers and Chargers, Raiders, and Denver Broncos, and so Tennessee Titans, Cincinnati Bengals, and Baltimore Ravens, Philadelphia Eagles, Miami Dolphins, and England Patriots, and Indianapolis Bolts, and she'll love them. She'll love that. Alright, mateys, don't forget to subscribe for more content. So follow me on www.com.org, right on the overview descriptions. Pirates of the Caribbean film series .us. So send it to the letters about subscriptions. So tell it hi to Majaka Nuggets, Big Butter, Jordy Staubauer, Kate behind the camera, Bridget West, Amanda Corn, Jerry Riley, Both Squad Creed, The Ragging Dad, Psychic Dad, Larry's Lounge, Grandpa Shows, and Joe Bump, Larry's Lounge, and Psycho Mom, and Melissa, Psycho Uncle 1 through 3, Psycho Aunt 1 through 2, and Derek Diesel Daily, Cuba Guy, The Cuba Guy Life, Nesboo, Life of Moko, Life of Boog, The Boog Show, and his girlfriend Fasalita, Nana Giles, Ben Phillips, and Elia Giles, Crazy Boyfriend, and Crazy Love, Forever Alex, Anna, and all of the cast of the YouTube subscribers. So follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google for Finance, and Twitch live stream, and Kakastory, Kakatomalo, and Play Stores and Hangouts, and New Jersey and Play Stores and Juggy Stores just today. So follow them as you can. Love you guys to the death, and don't forget, keep it rich, mateys.